As we age, our body's needs evolve, and what once supported us in our younger years can sometimes become unnecessary or even harmful later in life. Today, I want to talk about 6 common vitamins that people often continue to take past the age of 60. But evidence suggests you should reconsider. Your biology changes, your absorption mechanisms shift, and some supplements may more risk than reward. 1. Vitamin A retinol form. Vitamin A is essential for vision, immune function, and cellular health. However, after 60, excess vitamin A, particularly in its retinol found in many multivitamins, can accumulate in the liver and become toxic. Elevated vitamin A levels have been linked to increased risk of osteoporosis and fractures in older adults. Instead, focus on getting vitamin A precursors like beta-carotene from colorful fruits and vegetables, which the body converts to vitamin A only as needed, reducing toxicity risk. 2. Vitamin E in high doses. Vitamin E is an antioxidant, and many people take it to protect against oxidative stress. Yet, high-dose vitamentations above 400 IU daily has been associated with increased risk of hemorrhagic stroke and all-cause mortality in some studies, especially in older adults. Since oxidative stress can be managed through diet rich in natural antioxidants, think berries, nuts, and leafy greens, it's better to avoid high-dose vitamin E supplements after 60. 3. Beta-carotene supplements. While beta-carotene is generally safe from dietary sources, supplementation, especially in smokers or former smokers over 60, has been linked to a higher risk of lung cancer. The interaction with tobacco-related toxins appears to be the culprit. If you're a smoker or have a history of smoking, avoid beta-carotene supplements and get your antioxidants from whole foods. 4. Iron supplements. Critical for oxygen transport. But after 60, many people no longer need extra iron unless diagnosed with iron deficiency anemia. Excess iron can accumulate and cause oxidative damage, increasing risks for conditions like cardiovascular disease and neurodegeneration. Unless a healthcare provider confirms you are iron deficient, it's generally safer to avoid iron supplements as you age. 5. Calcium supplements. Calcium is vital for bone health, but supplementing with kind after 60 without proper monitoring can lead to vascular calcification, calcium deposits in arteries, which contributes to heart disease. Dietary calcium from dairy, leafy greens, and fortified foods is preferable, and if supplements are necessary, they should be balanced with vitamin D and magnesium, and ideally supervised by your doctor. 6. High-dose vitamin B6. Vitamin B6 plays a key role in brain health and metabolism, but excessive intake, say above 100 mg daily, can cause nerve damage or neuropathy, which ironically can worsen symptoms often experienced in older adults. Stick to recommended daily amounts from a balanced diet, and avoid megadoses unless specifically directed by a healthcare professional. Why does this matter? Our metabolism slows down with age. The ability to process and eliminate excess vitamins changes. Over-supplementation can lead to toxicity, increased oxidative stress, and unintended side effects that negatively impact longevity and quality of life. Instead of blindly continuing vitamins that worked for you in your 40s or 50s, re-evaluate your supplement regimen based on your current health status, diet, and lab values. Many nutrients can be adequately obtained from food, and whole foods provide a synergy of compounds that supplements simply can't replicate. As we grow older, the landscape of our body's nutritional needs undergoes profound shifts. Aging is not simply the passage of time, but a complex biological process that influences every organ system, cellular function, and metabolic pathway. When it comes to vitamins and supplements, this means the rules that once applied to our younger selves no longer hold with the same rigidity or benefit. Understanding the ways in which aging changes vitamin needs and metabolism is crucial for optimizing health after 60 and avoiding the potential risks associated with inappropriate supplementation. One of the fundamental changes that occur with aging is the alteration in how the body absorbs, metabolizes, and utilizes vitamins. The gastrointestinal tract, which plays a pivotal role in nutrient absorption, experiences structural and functional changes over time. The lining of the stomach and intestines may become thinner or less efficient, reducing the secretion of digestive enzymes and stomach acid. Stomach acid, or gastric acid, is particularly important for releasing vitamins bound to food and making them available for absorption. For example, vitamin B12 absorption depends heavily on the presence of intrinsic factor, a protein secreted by cells in the stomach lining, which tends to decline with age. This decline contributes to a higher risk of B12 deficiency in older adults, despite adequate dietary intake. Similarly, the reduction of stomach acid can impair the absorption of minerals such as calcium, iron, and magnesium, which are often taken alongside vitamins in supplement form. Beyond the digestive system, the liver and kidneys, which play key roles in vitamin metabolism and clearance, also experience age-related functional declines. The liver is responsible for converting many vitamins into their active forms. For example, vitamin D must be hydroxylated first in the liver, then in the kidneys, to become biologically active. With decreased liver and kidney function, this conversion process can be less efficient, affecting the bioavailability of certain vitamins. This diminished ability can lead to either deficiencies or an accumulation of vitamin metabolites, both of which carry potential health risks. For instance, excessive accumulation of vitamin A, which is fat-soluble and stored in the liver, can become toxic and contribute to bone fragility, a problem that disproportionately affects older adults. The metabolic rate itself slows down with age, influencing how vitamins are used at the cellular level. Mitochondrial function, which underpins cellular energy production, declines, increasing oxidative stress and potentially raising the demand for antioxidants. Yet, paradoxically, simply taking more antioxidant vitamins does not necessarily translate to better health outcomes. The delicate balance of redox signaling, how cells communicate using oxidation and reduction reactions, is sensitive, and tipping it too far with high-dose supplements can disrupt normal physiological processes. Moreover, the immune system changes significantly with age, a phenomenon known as immunosenescence. Vitamins like A, D, and C have roles in immune modulation, but their supplementation must be carefully calibrated. Over-supplementing may dysregulate immune responses, leading to increased susceptibility to infections or chronic inflammation. This balance is why blanket recommendations for vitamin intake do not fit the older population well. What once was preventive may become counterproductive in advanced age. Another critical factor is polypharmacy, or the use of multiple medications, which is common in older adults. Many drugs interact with vitamin absorption and metabolism, creating complex dynamics. For example, proton pump inhibitors, widely prescribed for acid reflux, reduce stomach acid and therefore impair absorption of vitamin B12, calcium, and magnesium. Blood thinners like warfarin interact with vitamin K metabolism, requiring careful monitoring to avoid bleeding complications. Without medical guidance, supplementing vitamins in the context of multiple medications can increase the risk of adverse effects and toxicity. Body composition also shifts with aging, influencing how vitamins are distributed in the body. There is a tendency for increased fat mass and decreased lean muscle mass. Fat-soluble vitamins, A, D, E, and K, are stored in fat tissue, and changes in fat stores can alter their release into the bloodstream. This can lead to unpredictable blood levels and complicate dosage decisions. In contrast, water-soluble vitamins like the B complex and vitamin C are less likely to accumulate but require regular replenishment, and their absorption can be compromised by digestive changes. It's important to highlight that aging is heterogeneous. Not all 60-year-olds experience these changes to the same degree. Genetics, lifestyle, diet, and existing health conditions contribute to individual variability in vitamin requirements and metabolism. This variability further challenges the one-size-fits-all approach to supplementation often seen in commercial products. Instead, a personalized approach, guided by blood tests and medical evaluation, is essential to determine which vitamins are truly needed. There is also a psychological and behavioral dimension to consider. Older adults often continue habits developed earlier in life, including taking supplements they may no longer require. The assumption that more supplementation equals better health is widespread, yet it ignores the complex interplay between aging physiology and nutrient needs. Supplementation without reassessment can lead to excessive intake, nutrient imbalances, and even increased morbidity. Scientific research supports the idea that whole foods should remain the primary source of vitamins throughout life, especially after 60. Whole foods offer a matrix of nutrients, fiber, and bioactive compounds that work synergistically to promote health. For example, the carotenoids found in fruits and vegetables provide vitamin A precursors that the body can convert as needed, preventing toxicity. Likewise, the vitamin E present in nuts and seeds is delivered in natural forms and ratios that the body manages more effectively than isolated, high-dose supplements. To fully appreciate how aging changes vitamin needs, consider the example of vitamin D. Vitamin D synthesis in the skin decreases with age due to reduced levels of 7-dehydrocholesterol. The precursor molecule that converts sunlight to vitamin D. Kidney function decline also impairs conversion to its active form. Yet, excessive vitamin D supplementation can lead to hypercalcemia, with symptoms including confusion, kidney damage, and cardiovascular issues. This illustrates that aging creates a narrow therapeutic window where precise dosing becomes critical. In addition to changes in absorption and metabolism, vitamin requirements themselves can shift due to alterations in physiology and disease prevalence. Bone loss, common after 60, increases the need for calcium and vitamin D, but these must be balanced carefully to avoid vascular calcification. Cognitive decline risks increase, prompting interest in B vitamins like B6, B12, and folate, which support brain health. But here again, megadoses can be harmful. Excessive B6, for example, may cause neuropathy, illustrating that more is not always better. The interplay between aging also extends to cellular signaling pathways involved in longevity and repair. Nutrient sensing pathways such as mTOR, AMPK, and sirtuins are influenced by nutrient availability. Vitamins in excess can dysregulate these pathways, potentially accelerating aging processes or interfering with beneficial adaptations like autophagy, the cellular recycling mechanism critical for maintaining tissue health. Understanding these complex relationships reinforces the necessity of shifting from indiscriminate supplementation to a strategic, evidence-based approach tailored to the aging body's unique needs. Regular evaluation by healthcare professionals, including laboratory testing for nutrient levels, is essential to safely navigate this transition. In conclusion, the aging process profoundly impacts vitamin absorption, metabolism, distribution, and requirements. The biological shifts that occur after 60 demand a reevaluation of supplementation habits. What once served as a health booster may now pose risks, underscoring the importance of individualized, informed approaches grounded in current science. Prioritizing nutrient-rich whole foods, avoiding unnecessary high-dose supplements, and working with healthcare providers to monitor and adjust vitamin intake can optimize health span and quality of life well into later decades. As we advance into our 60s and beyond, the way our bodies handle vitamins undergoes significant transformations. Aging is accompanied by a multitude of physiological changes that impact nutrient absorption, metabolism, and utilization, necessitating a reevaluation of vitamin needs. What once was beneficial or even essential at a younger age might not only become redundant, but could also pose health risks when continued unchecked later in life. Understanding these changes is crucial for maintaining optimal health, preventing toxicity, and ensuring that supplementation supports rather than hinders our aging bodies. One of the primary factors affecting vitamin needs with age is the change in the digestive system. The gastrointestinal tract is responsible for breaking down food and absorbing nutrients, including vitamins. However, as we age, the lining of the stomach and intestines tends to become less efficient. The secretion of digestive enzymes and stomach acid diminishes, which directly affects how well vitamins are liberated from food and made available for absorption. For example, vitamin B12 absorption is highly dependent on a protein called intrinsic factor, produced by the stomach lining. Unfortunately, the production of intrinsic factor tends to decline in older adults, leading to a higher incidence of vitamin B12 deficiency despite adequate dietary intake. This deficiency can cause anemia, cognitive decline, and neuropathy if left unaddressed. Similarly, the absorption of minerals like calcium and iron is influenced by stomach acid levels. Reduced production leads to less effective absorption, which can contribute to conditions such as osteoporosis or anemia, both common in the elderly. Supplementing these minerals or their associated vitamins indiscriminately, however, is not always the answer. The body's ability to regulate mineral levels changes with age, and excess supplementation causes unwanted side effects. For instance, too much iron can accumulate and contribute to oxidative damage and inflammation, factors that may increase the risk of chronic diseases, including heart disease and neurodegenerative disorders. The metabolism of vitamins also depends heavily on the function of organs like the liver and kidneys, both of which experience age-related decline. The liver converts many vitamins into their active forms, a necessary step before they can perform their biological functions. Vitamin D is a prime example. It is first hydroxylated in the liver and then in the kidneys to become the hormonally active form that regulates calcium homeostasis and supports immune function. Reduced liver and kidney efficiency slows down these conversions, potentially resulting in lower availability of active vitamins in the body. Conversely, the reduced clearance of some vitamins can lead to their accumulation to toxic levels, especially for fat-soluble vitamins such as vitamin A, which the body stores in the liver. This accumulation has been linked to adverse outcomes like bone fragility and increased risk of fractures, a significant concern for aging populations. The body's metabolic rate decreases with age, and mitochondrial function, the powerhouses of cells, declines. This leads to increased oxidative stress, a key contributor to cellular aging and many age-related diseases. While it might seem logical to increase intake of antioxidant vitamins like vitamin E to combat this, research indicates that high doses may not be beneficial and could even increase risks of stroke or mortality in older adults. The balance between oxidative stress and antioxidant defense is delicate, and tipping this balance with excessive supplementation can disrupt normal cellular signaling and repair processes. Another important aspect is the effect of aging on the immune system. Known as immunosenescence, the gradual decline in immune function can alter how the body responds to vitamins that influence immune health. Vitamins A, D, and C have recognized roles in immune modulation, but their supplementation requires caution in older adults to avoid immune dysregulation. Excessive intake may contribute to chronic inflammation or weaken immune defenses, counteracting their intended benefits. Moreover, polypharmacy, the use of multiple medications, is prevalent among older adults, and many drugs interact with vitamin absorption and metabolism. For instance, proton pump inhibitors reduce stomach acid, impairing absorption of B12, calcium, and magnesium. Blood thinners like warfarin interact with vitamin K metabolism, requiring careful monitoring to prevent bleeding or clotting complications. These interactions complicate the decision to supplement and emphasize the need for personalized medical oversight. Changes in body composition with age further affect vitamin dynamics. Fat-soluble vitamins are stored in adipose tissue, and because body fat tends to increase with age, the distribution and release of these vitamins can become unpredictable. This complicates dosing and blood level interpretations. Water-soluble vitamins, such as the B complex and vitamin C, do not accumulate in the body to the same extent but require steady intake, which can be challenging if absorption is impaired. It is also vital to recognize the heterogeneity of aging. No two individuals age in the same way. Genetics, diet, lifestyle, existing health conditions, and even socioeconomic factors contribute to this diversity. Therefore, vitamin needs vary widely among older adults. The commonly marketed multivitamins may not be appropriate for everyone, and some vitamins may be unnecessary or harmful when taken without medical indication. Psychologically, many older adults continue supplement habits formed earlier in life, often driven by the belief that more supplementation equates to better health. This is a misconception that ignores the physiological changes that occur with aging. Excessive intake of vitamins without proper assessment can lead to toxicity, nutrient imbalances, and increased risk of adverse health events. Scientific evidence increasingly supports prioritizing whole foods as the primary source of vitamins in older adults. Whole foods provide vitamins in natural combinations along with other beneficial compounds such as fiber and phytochemicals, creating a synergistic effect that supplements cannot replicate. For example, carotenoids obtained from fruits and vegetables serve as precursors to vitamin A and are converted by the body as needed, minimizing toxicity risks. Similarly, the vitamin E found naturally in nuts and seeds appears to be safer and more effective than synthetic or high-dose supplements. As we journey into our 60s and beyond, the principle that one size does not fit all becomes especially true when it comes to vitamins and supplementation. The aging body is a complex, dynamic system influenced by genetics, lifestyle, existing health conditions, medications, and even the subtle nuances of our environment. Because of this complexity, a personalized approach to vitamin intake is not just beneficial, it is essential. Coupled with this, prioritizing a food-first strategy ensures that the body receives nutrients in the most natural, bioavailable, and balanced form, reducing the risks that often come with indiscriminate supplement use. Personalization starts with understanding that each person's nutrient requirements and metabolic capacity vary widely as they age. Factors such as how efficiently your digestive system absorbs vitamins, your liver and kidney function, your medication regimen, and your current health status all influence what vitamins you might need, and in what amounts. For example, some individuals may have compromised absorption of vitamin B12 due to decreased intrinsic factor production, requiring supplementation, while others with normal function may not. Similarly, someone with osteoporosis might benefit from tailored calcium and vitamin D doses, while another person without bone loss might risk harm from excess calcium intake. Regular blood testing and consultation with healthcare professionals become invaluable tools in this personalized approach. Blood tests can reveal deficiencies or excesses in vitamins and minerals, allowing adjustments to be made with precision rather than guesswork. This scientific approach prevents the potential dangers of over-supplementation, such as toxicity from fat-soluble vitamins like A, D, E, and K, which the body stores and can accumulate to harmful levels if taken excessively. For water-soluble vitamins, such as the B complex and vitamin C, personalized dosing ensures that the amounts taken match actual physiological needs, considering that excess is typically excreted but can still cause side effects at very high doses. Personalization also involves integrating an individual's lifestyle and dietary habits. For example, someone who spends ample time outdoors and has a diet rich in fatty fish and fortified foods might require less vitamin D supplementation than a person with limited sun exposure and dietary intake. Those with digestive issues like celiac disease or inflammatory bowel disease may have impaired absorption of multiple nutrients, necessitating a more targeted supplementation strategy. However, while supplementation can be a helpful adjunct, it should not be the primary source of vitamins. A food-first approach emphasizes obtaining nutrients through a diverse, balanced diet rich in whole foods. Fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, nuts, and seeds. Whole foods provide not only vitamins but also other essential compounds like fiber, antioxidants, and phytochemicals that work synergistically to enhance nutrient absorption and support overall health. For example, carotenoids in colorful vegetables serve as precursors to vitamin A, but their conversion is regulated by the body, reducing the risk of toxicity that can occur with direct vitamin A supplementation. Additionally, food sources of vitamins are accompanied by cofactors and enzymes that facilitate their proper utilization and metabolism within the body. This natural matrix cannot be replicated by supplements, which often provide isolated or synthetic forms of vitamins. Nutrient bioavailability. The degree to which nutrients can be absorbed and used by the body is typically higher when vitamins come from whole foods. This makes the food-first approach not only safer, but often more effective. Another advantage of a food-first strategy is its role in preventing chronic diseases common in older adults, such as cardiovascular disease and cognitive decline. Diets rich in natural vitamins, antioxidants, and anti-inflammatory compounds contribute to reducing oxidative stress, improving vascular health, and supporting brain function. Moreover, food-based nutrients promote a healthier gut microbiome, which is increasingly recognized as a crucial factor in nutrient absorption, immune regulation, and overall wellness. While emphasizing whole foods, it is also critical to recognize that aging bodies might still require supplementation to fill gaps that diet alone cannot meet. This is especially true in cases of diagnosed deficiencies or medical conditions that impair nutrient absorption or increase nutrient demands. But even then, supplementation should be guided by healthcare providers, using laboratory data to determine the exact type, dose, and duration needed. Importantly, a personalized, food-first approach fosters sustainable health habits. It encourages mindful eating, appreciation of nutrient diversity, and an understanding of how diet interacts with aging physiology. This mindset moves away from quick fixes and blanket supplementation toward a thoughtful, science-based regimen that respects the body's complexity and individual differences. Finally, as medications and health status change over time, so too should vitamin strategies. Periodic reassessment is key to ensuring that vitamin intake remains aligned with evolving needs. This ongoing personalization safeguards against both deficiency and toxicity, optimizing health outcomes throughout the aging process. In summary, the aging process demands a shift from generalized supplementation to a personalized, food-first approach. By tailoring vitamin intake to individual metabolic realities, health conditions, and lifestyle factors, while prioritizing nutrient-rich whole foods, older adults can support their bodies safely and effectively. This strategy not only minimizes risks, but also maximizes the benefits of vitamins in maintaining vitality, preventing disease, and promoting longevity well into later life.